Hey there, audio friends. MrAyrit here. Got a pair of cheap Bluetooth headphones here that I'm going to review today, and they don't suck, actually. So, pretty awesome. These are the JBL710Bt, okay? The reason why I picked these up, DMS did a video on these, I don't know, a month or two ago, and said, you know, for 80 bucks, they're not bad. Well, Black Friday deals rolled around here and they were 40. So I thought, give them a shot. Why not? So I bought these straight from JBL, but Amazon did have the same deal. Not sure if that's going on right now. I mean, I'll do the Amazon link down below so you can check on it. I imagine they probably go on sale for that more than just Black Friday, but it's hard to say. So something to watch out. So are they worth it for 40 bucks? For sure. 80? I don't know. But let's talk about them. Okay. Packaging here, nothing too crazy special. They've got a few specs on here that I think you might be interested in, right? So they're saying in 5 minutes they charge for 3 hours of playback. That seems pretty impressive. They also say they have 50 hours total battery life, Bluetooth 5.0, USB-C charging. I can't vouch for really any of that. I've only been using them for about, I don't know, maybe about 6 hours or so. I haven't run out of battery yet. I charged them overnight when I got them. I imagine their numbers are probably close to that, but I'll update or put down in the description if for whatever reason I find out that's not the case. But yeah, let's dig into the build and see what we get here. Now, obviously these guys are very, very cheap feeling. I mean, they're super plasticky. They're on the smaller side, which we'll talk more about that. That's probably my biggest complaint about them. I mean, they have a reasonable extension here when we're talking about just like range, but they're just really tight on my head. Super, super tight. So hopefully that'll loosen up a little bit over time. But really what bothers me more than anything is they're more of like an on ear than an over ear. So my ear definitely like touches the pads, and I don't have particularly large ears. So even after just about like half an hour of wearing them, they kind of like, I almost need to take a break from them. So I'm wondering if maybe they're more geared towards like younger people, young teens, preteens. You know, I'm probably going to just end up giving these to my son to use. But you know, they're reasonable build for the $40. You know, what are you gonna say about it? I do like that they fold up rather small. You know, they can fold flat, which I always like because then you can drop them down. You know, and you can kind of it makes them a little more versatile. You know, makes them a little more versatile. Looking at what kind of options we have for buttons and things, you've got a little auxiliary port so you can listen to them wired if you want, or if they're dead. Power button, you know, volume up, volume down, multi-function button in the middle there. So you know, pretty typical basic stuff. The other cup is devoid of anything. Here's what threw me for a loop though the first time I used them is, where's the charging port? Right? Where's the charging port at on these things? And it's actually up here under the cup. So it's like, I don't know. I was like trying to figure out how to plug them in, and I just couldn't do it. So that's pretty much the build of these guys. So all around, not terrible. Okay. All right. So let's talk sound here, right? And how do they sound? They sound pretty good. I mean, shockingly good for the money, I would say. Definitely not a typical, what I would consider to be like a typical consumer sound. They are much better controlled than that. The bass is probably their best quality, very well controlled, right at the level that I want it. So it's not crazy boomy. If you're looking for a ton of bass, this is not it. But for just reasonably clean, well balanced bass, they aren't bad at all. Timbre is probably their weakest point. It's not horrible, but sometimes I feel like the mids are just a bit scooped out, and they get kind of like a hollow, maybe slightly tinny timbre to them on some tracks. It's definitely not noticeable all the time, but on a fairly regular basis, I kind of was noting that. The high end I think is pretty clean. You know, I mean, it's not crazy amounts of detail or sparkle or anything like that. I mean, it's a well balanced headphone. I mean, there is a little bit of sound staging going on with these, nothing crazy. It's kind of like a 3 blob, like you can hear it in front or you can hear it at the sides. There's not a lot of depth or, width or anything to it, but I mean, it's there. And same for, imaging separation. I mean, imaging isn't great, but there is some right to left going on and stuff like that. And there's a bit of separation between instruments, right? It's not going to blow your mind, but for $40, I think if you're just looking for a cheap set of Bluetooth headphones, you don't mind the smaller cups, then these could be for you. But I think more than that is just if you want to get your kid, a decent set of Bluetooth headphones, I think they're an easy rec for that. And that's probably where I'm gonna leave it here. One last thing we'll do. Let's do a microphone test, right? Because these guys do have a microphone built into them. We might as well test that before we call things quits, right? Let's do that here real fast. Okay, so this should be the microphone from these guys now. How does it sound? Probably pretty mediocre if I were to guess. But, here it is for you if you wanted to know. Okay, and with that, we're gonna call this one quits. One last little plug I'll add, just in case you're here looking for just like a really budget but great sounding headphone and you don't really care what the form or factor is. These guys right here, which are the Saltones, 7Hz Saltone Zeros, gosh, these guys are really good, and I'll do a comparison with these here before too long, but I just dropped that in here. $20, you can't beat these for $20, let me tell you. And they definitely sound better than these JBLs. So again, if you're just looking for something that's super portable, you don't mind the wire, you might take a look at those. With that, I'm going to end it. If you have any other super cheap, maybe Bluetooth headphones that you'd recommend to people, feel free to drop those down below. If you tried these guys out and you want to share your opinion on those, I welcome that down below as well. Outside of that, I thank you for your time. I appreciate you being here. Like, subscribe, do all that, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.